Dallas Cowboys Sports with J Tuck.
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Cowboy fans, baby. You know what I mean? Cowboy fans, let's go. Alright, man. Woo-wee. Man.
How you feeling, guys? How you feeling, bro?
Man, I'm feeling fired up, bro. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. This show right here, what we get ready to talk about, man. So
we gotta sit down and talk, Cowboys Nation.
Yeah, we gotta talk. Yeah, we gotta talk. You know, cause we talking about them solutions.
Right.
And he just walked in out loud. My boy waiting. My boy J Tuck. That boy said, "Boss, wake up! You slipping? You sleep, dog."
I said, "Nah, you gotta wake up early, man. You gotta wake up. We gotta get right to work." Listen, bro.
And what did I do as soon as I saw it, bro? As soon as I saw it, I called you. I said, "Oh my God!" All right, y'all. So we tired of teasing, man. We talking about Mike McCarthy versus Kellen Moore, the offensive philosophy, matchup versus systems. Sadly, part 2. It's part 2 because this is something that we talked about before, you know. But we gonna make it even clearer today. So it's gonna be, you know, real informative, man. So y'all make sure y'all stay with us, cause I really do believe that this information is season saving, bro. What's your thoughts on that?
Right. Yeah, I agree, man. And I feel like it's the end game solution of what we've been talking about all season. So we finally got our answer. So now it's how do we fix it? So we definitely gonna talk about that, Cowboys Nation. So get those shares up, because everybody gonna need to hear what we're about to talk about here in a second.
Yeah. So in the meantime, y'all chill out, man. I'm gonna be right back, man. Let me just play y'all some music. Let's go. J Tuck, boss. Let's go. All right.
That footwork right there.
Yeah, man.
Drone.
We gonna go ahead and start the show a little bit early. Let's go, man. All right, here we go. Let's get down to business. Come on in. All right, turn this down and let's get down to business, dog. All right, man. So here we go. It's your boy J Tuck and Boss Cowboy, man. Hey, the OC might walk in here too, so I'm ready for him too. So anyway, first, I think it's always important for us to kind of catch up everybody that's listening, because you know I'm always getting new subscribers. You always get new subscribers. So this is what I was thinking about doing, Jay. I'm thinking about just kind of playing the clip as it came out, and then we go rewind and catch everybody up. You want to do it like that?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so we'll do it like that. So we go first start with directly the press conference that came out from Mike McCarthy. Me and J Tuck go double team both sides of it. So let's just listen to it. Here's the A part of it. Here we go.
A lot of great questions today, but this is my favorite. So we get to talk a little ball here. But no, I've never been a big option route thrower, your concept in the past.
Technology. I can't get enough of it.
We got McCarthy in stereo.
Yeah, it's a little weird hearing your voice. I don't know, to answer your question, option routes take a lot of time. In option, if you're in a traditional West Coast offense, it's.
I gotta go listen to you.
I tell you, we need to win this week because this thing's turning into a zoo in here. But yeah, but option routes. So they take a lot of time, Michael. Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if you're going to run option routes, you need to live in that world. That's been my experience. You can't dabble on it. Option routes are really not part of the old traditional West Coast offense. I've had quarterbacks in the past that didn't really like them, and it's really about the connection that they have with the receiver. I've been in systems where only certain guys run them. This is the most aggressive system that I've been in, as far as many people that do run the option routes, and so I think you see our commitment to practice. We practice it.
So go ahead and get some background on it, and then I'm gonna get some background on it.
Yeah, not bad, everyone. Yeah, man. So everyone who watches my channel know I kind of been under the weather a little bit. So yesterday I was sitting back watching the Mike McCarthy press conference, as I always do, and there was a few questions that asked. And it kind of stuck out. That was the second one, actually, but we'll get to that here in a second. But when that question was asked by Michael Gelkin, everyone was kind of laughing, as you see, kind of having a good old time, not really paying much attention. But that's when I really poked up in my chair. It was like, what did he just say?
Right.
And when he was talking about the option routes, and he said specifically he's never been pretty much a fan of it, to pretty much give you a short explanation. Talked about how the development kind of takes too much time. Talked about it wasn't really specifically what he used in his West Coast offense. His quarterbacks really didn't like it. And so I was like, is Mike McCarthy pretty much telling us that this is not his system and we're not using any of his philosophies? And that was where my gear started to turn yesterday. So, I'm actually right here in Dallas. I've been traveling here. I'm in my family's house, so I had to gear up everything. So I didn't have time to cut and make a video yesterday. But when I was at the airport this morning, boss, I was like, nobody talked about this and nobody catch this yesterday. And so I started doing what I do on Twitter and said, hey, y'all missed what Mike McCarthy said. He was slowly pushing Kellen Moore under the bus. A lot of people didn't understand it until I cut up the video and placed it on Twitter. And then that's when everything started to spiral, and here we are.
Yeah. And see, we got to talk about those option routes, because see, what they talking about with those option routes is what you was also talking about with the no ID offense. All right.
Right.
Hold on real quick. Sorry about that.
Oh, you good. You good.
All right. So it was what you was talking about with the no ID offense. So talk about the no ID offense, and then I'm going to talk about my version of it, because that's what he's talking about. So kind of break it down for us, Tuck.
Yeah, so when I broke down the no ID offense, I think that was back in June. When I dropped that video, it was really trying to get an understanding of what is Kellen Moore's offensive philosophy in a way I can break that down so Cowboys fans can understand as well, because leading up to that point, nobody really had an idea of what Kellen Moore was running. A lot of people just thought it was just carried over from Jason Garrett, Scott Linehan, right? Now, there are some principles, but what the no identity offense really is it goes back to his time at Boise when he was under Chris Peterson. And what Boise State really focused on, because they didn't have the talent of Alabama, right? They didn't have the talent of Ohio State, right? It was an identity of their offense of not having an identity. So instead of being a spread offense or, a heavy run or RPO offense, they wanted to do a variety of different things well, so that way everybody was involved into their offense. And so once I started doing the research, pulling back all the way to 2008, reading articles, from Boise State, it really matched Kellen Moore's philosophy. Now, when it comes to the option route, what people have to understand is there's an option tree. And I've explained on my channel on Boss, I know you talked about it, right? It's pretty much a numerical system of how to run the route. So you have, your in breaking routes, your out breaking routes. It's a tree. So you have 7 route, 9 routes, 8 goes to philosophies, right? So when you hear people talk about like Amari Cooper, right, they say he can run the route tree. That's why his logo is a route tree. But when it comes to the option route, it's a little bit more extended, because what you necessarily tell your wide receiver what they need to do is, not only do you need to beat your man defensively, right, you have to kind of know where to sit. So you have a variety of different options you can go based on the look that the defense is giving you. So, when I kind of broke down Kellen Moore's offense, I'm like, there's a lot of different things that doesn't match Mike McCarthy's philosophy of just being the West Coast offense that we've seen when he was in Green Bay, when he was taught in San Francisco, and so on.
So, because Jay Tuck, when he broke down the no identity offense, I was doing shows myself, but I was just simplifying it and calling it the system. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I was calling it the system is because they was calling it their system, but you actually found the exact system that they're using. So let's just listen to Stephen Jones, and let's go paint the picture of the system and why it's against a lot of the philosophies from former greats. So we have to first start with that. Then we go kind of build on what Mike McCarthy is doing in his press conference and why we need to have his back. So listen to this.
Back to the decision ahead on Amari, his usage, not just production, but in terms of how often he was targeted, even when he was on the field, it was down. Mm-hmm. What do you make of his relative lack of involvement, especially for someone who's got the contract of a number one wide receiver?
I just think it's an offensive philosophy.
A what?
It's an offensive philosophy, and with when we had the skilled players that we had, between Kellen and Dak, I think there was a progression of where you threw the ball, and depending on how the defense played you.
Depending on what?
How the defense played you.
Yep.
And depending on how the defense played you, it would point the ball to certain places where, hey, if they're going to double over here and they're going to double over the top over here, then that's going to dictate that the ball goes here.
Right. And that's the system that Mike McCarthy is saying that he's not a fan of, the no identity offense. Right. So the crazy thing about this is I was warning about this, Tuck. I put this actually as my, this ain't crazy. This is just the type of work we do, all of us. Mm-hmm. This is nothing like to brag about, because we all put in work. So, but some people like to say hindsight is 20/20. No, sir. Mm-hmm. I pinned this on June 11th, right around the time you did the no identity offense, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the deal. I said, no lie, this is the most important show that I've ever done about the Dallas Cowboys, no cap. If we fix this, we can win a Super Bowl. And that's where I did the video on Mike McCarthy versus Kellen Moore, offensive philosophy, matchup versus systems. Or really, it should be titled the no ID offense. But this is why that's important that we able to show that we warned about this before we got into game one. Right. Because what's really happened is that defenses have figured out Kellen Moore. And exactly. Mike McCarthy had to send a signal to show this was not me. This was Kellen Moore and Stephen Jones. He had to. And he had to do it today. He had to.
And I was so happy when he started doing it, y'all. I was, I was like, man, and that's why I was looking in the media room, like, man, y'all not hearing what he was saying. But if you go back to that clip, boss, what Stephen Jones just said, right? It's based off what the defense dictates. And even in my video breakdown, going back to Boise, that's the whole focus of the no identity offense. They wanted to shift numbers, get the defense off balance, and utilize whatever they gave them. Now, here we are. We grown now. We're not at Boise. Let's salute to the blue. My best friend played for Boise. This is the Dallas Cowboys. This is the real blue. Here in Dallas, we have superstars, right? And so I don't want to see a situation where a defense just takes away CeeDee Lamb, but all of a sudden Noah Brown is just going off. That's not my, That's not my philosophy. And it sounds like Mike McCarthy that isn't his philosophy as well, because prior to him saying that in the interview yesterday, the first thing he said, and I believe it was Calvin Watkins, don't quote me on that, Clarence, I get them mixed up, but he asked about utilizing his superstars. And he had said specifically back when he was in San Francisco, they had a play sheet, right, for Jerry Rice. It was
Hold
a
on,
Jerry
I got
Rice
it right
sheet.
here.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and play that clip. For
Had the
us,
Jerry
boss.
Rice list and John Taylor, so those that is carried forward for generations. On that's why you have more than 2 pages on your call sheet. If you look at call sheets, I never looked at the call sheet as a call sheet. I looked at it as a worksheet. When you work on it throughout the week, that's why it's 6 pages instead. You really use 2 during the game, but those with the other categories. I know personally what I would carry on. Hey, make sure you get the ball
Jackpot right there.
CD.
What? Talk about it.
What he said, we said, I know personally myself, like he's saying, now me, I know if it was me doing things, that's how I would do it. And that's when my ears perked up yesterday and said, oh no, what do we got going on right here? He's pretty much saying if he was in charge, that's how he would do things to get the superstars involved. And he's going to list them right here after this quote.
Yeah, here we go.
Make sure here's the top 10 throws. You already have the plays on the call sheet, but they're good reminders how you list. Plays for Tony, plays for Zeke, plays for CD, plays for Dalton. So that's all part of the game plan process.
Yeah.
Now me putting my media hat on, if I was in there, boss, I don't know about you, I would have had a follow-up question. So tell me, what is your philosophy currently? Because you said this is something that you would do. What is your philosophy right now as it stands in Dallas to make sure that you have those reminders to get your superstars involved? And that's probably when they would have escorted me out, but that's when I started thinking. That's when I started thinking in my head. Okay, so then currently, what is the philosophy? If you said that's what you would do, why isn't that something that we're doing currently?
Yeah, and so now let's kind of rewind, because this is what I want to break down, okay? And this is what a lot of people don't know. And I'm going to go through this, and then we go come back and we go put this all together, okay?
Okay.
What a lot of people don't know is there's a mutiny, not even a mutiny, there's a civil war of ideals going on, okay? Mm-hmm. So it's an ideal of Hall of Famers like Troy Aikman, and I'm going to show it, okay? Mm-hmm. Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, Jimmy Johnson, Kurt Warner, Dez Bryant, even Romo have warned about the problems of a matchup system. And they did it, sadly, not matchups, a no identity offense. They did it this offseason. So I'm going to play each one. Then I'm going to bring this all the way forward. So this is the playmaker. So let's first start with him. Here we go.
Is that our offense is antiquated, because they want somebody to be designing more schemes to get people open, as opposed to what we were just talking about, allowing your man to beat somebody with timing. Now, I put a lot of what happened with Dak on Kellen Moore. On Kellen Moore.
Wait. That's one. Let's go to Jimmy.
CD Lamb just wasn't utilized enough. Like in the last game that they lost, he was only targeted a couple of times. You got one of the more exciting receivers in the entire league, and you don't target it. You throw to a tight end that's going to give you 10 yards. So there were some issues, especially there, in that last ball game.
Yeah.
And let's Emmy.
If I looked at what we did, I thought we offensively tried to feature some guys that we went away from our playmakers. And that's not what you should do. That's why I'm questioning some of the things that transpired.
We see both these teams here at the Super Bowl. It's so easy for them to feed the ball to Cooper Kupp,
right,
Odell, even Chase. Why is it so hard for Dallas to be able to feed the ball to CD and Amari?
Creativity, or the lack thereof creativity. When you have quality wide receivers like Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Gallup at the time, Wilson, and others, you create matchup issues by moving them all around. They should be able to run routes, and they should be interchangeable. I mean, we need to upgrade in our tight end position, to be honest with you. I don't think our tight ends were great pass blockers or run blockers. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Especially when you're trying to run the ball with Zeke and Pollard and so forth. Yes, we needed that. We needed that guy that can actually block and run pass routes at the same time. So no one can actually key on us when we're in certain situations. And I think offensively, we kind of got away from the main thing being the main thing. And they need to get their act together in terms of calling consistent plays that are giving our guys and doing the things that you talked about, creating ways for these guys to get the ball in their hands instead of the standard way of doing it. The creativity that I would expect from Kellen Moore needs to continue to evolve, and we need to take advantage of that.
And so, and listen, I'm not done. Let's look at Troy. This is Troy Aikman, right? And he said the coordinators, it's all about scheme rather than this corner is playing soft. He's scared to death. Just run a route tree, run a compact, run a dig route, run a curl, run anything, Aikman said.
Right.
You're going to complete the pass whenever you want. Michael Irvin would have had 10 catches at halftime if they played us the way that they played CeeDee Lamb in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said
that difficult.
The game is not that difficult. So he was making a. Now these are multiple Hall of Famers, and I'm not even done, bro. Let's look at Romo. This is Romo. Romo talking about this no identity offense, right? But he was talking about it when it came to getting rid of Dez. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this was with Dez, but he was talking about Kellen Moore with that offense, right? So let me go to it. Y'all give me 1 second. So first, hold on, this not it. Y'all give me 1 second, man. Y'all know when it's live, you under that pressure, you start doing dumb stuff. Y'all give me 1 second.
We good, man. We cooking.
Here it is,
y'all. But like I said, there you go.
Here it is. Yeah, and thank you, boy. Jay Tucker's ready. He said, "All right,
hey.
All right." So this is Dak and Romo. He said, "I think it's winning by committee." Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott said Thursday from the NFL draft experience. "We have a great running back, as you know, a great running game. So to be able to spread the ball around, we've got a lot of weapons still. The way we attack, who knows what's coming, right?" And then Romo responded based on what he said about committee systems, right? And he said initially there would be some success because it would be hard for them to determine out who to double team and what they're going to do defensively. It's going to be a little more random. But what happens is when the tape gets out there throughout the season, it gets a little more difficult because now you have tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the main thing that I want to bring out. All right, this is the main thing. So we showed the history. We showed the history of what all these Hall of Famers and people that you trust was saying about the system of Kellen Moore, right? But this is the big thing that I want y'all to catch. The big thing that I want y'all to catch is Mike McCarthy is powerless because they have given the power to Kellen Moore. And I'm going to show you, and this is from the article from May 27th, okay? On May 27th, this is when Jerry Jones came out about CeeDee Lamb as an upgrade of over Amari as Cowboys' #1 receiver, all right? So he talked about it on the A part, but the B part is the meat where they talk about the system. All right, so we go get into the B part. All right, so this is the B part right here. And as the Star Telegram describes it, this is coming from Mike McCarthy. He say Lamb will play the Jerry Rice role as the flanker and the head coach. Mike McCarthy's West Coast offense. And this is what he said. This is a great opportunity for him personally. Mike McCarthy said, I think just the way we've established the offense, particularly in the passing game, the ability for those guys to play different positions to create matchups and make it harder on the defense to W. And see, that's exactly what Emmett was talking about. When you go back to what Emmett was talking about, that's exactly what Emmett said. Listen.
At the time, Wilson and others, you create matchup issues by moving them all around. They should be able to run routes, and they should be interchangeable. I mean, we need to upgrade in our tight end position, to be honest with you. I don't think
that's what Emmett was talking about. So what's going on, what's clearly going on to me, is what me and you talked about at Cowboys Experience. That Mike McCarthy have desires and front office is forcing something different, and it's obvious.
Yeah, I agree. And then the Kellen Moore no ID offense fits the desires of the front office, which is unfortunate because we do have playmakers. And hell, we had a three-headed dragon, as I called them last year, and we weren't able to get them involved. So Cowboys Nation, that's why we were sitting there versus San Francisco scratching our heads saying, why wasn't Amari getting no looks? Why wasn't CeeDee Lamb getting no looks? And the reason why is because the defense has figured out Kellen Moore's offense, and they know they can dictate who the ball is going to. Simplify it. Just like Jay Novacek told us last weekend, boss. Flip it to basketball. If you play against the Lakers, and I know I can put a defense out there that's going to keep
I got
the
it
ball
right
away
here.
from LeBron James.
Tuck.
Yeah.
I got it right here. Let me play it. Perfect segue, big dog. Let me play it.
There we go.
We're going to play Jay Novacek.
Another one.
Let's get it. All right, here we go.
Conversation, but the cross training to me is so beneficial.
No, that's not
hold
it.
on.
And
Cross training?
No, that's hold on. That's not it. Hold on.
That's another thing.
Yeah, we can talk about that. But keep talking real quick. Let me pull it. Let me just go pull it.
But what I was saying, Cowboys Nation, picture this, you're playing against the Lakers, and you know I can come up with a defensive zone that can keep the ball away from LeBron James. Well, that's what you want to do, right? But from an offensive standpoint, you cannot let the defense dictate because you're never in control. And going back when I did the research on the no ID offense, it strictly said that Boise State offense was never about imposing their will. Because they never had those overpowering players. So that's why you see Ezekiel Elliott get a few carries, he gets things revved up, and then it just fades away because that's not what the offense is really based on. It's based off of defensive looks. The Achilles heel has been what the Denver Broncos have done to us, even though Jerry's going to lie to y'all and say no, since last year, right? And you go to that Cardinals game last year, when you disguise those looks, you let Kellen and Dak kind of get their scheme, and as soon as they hike the ball, they break out of it, but they've already made their mind up.
And that's what make your quarterback also look indecisive.
Right. And now that you have wide receivers who are primarily new, unproven guys, running option routes. So Noah Brown, y'all, has to focus on just beating this defender in the first place. Like, that's just step one for Noah Brown, Simi Fioco, Dennis Houston. That's job one. But now you finally beat your defender. Now you got to analyze how the defense is shaping up and where I need to sit in this hole. Do I need to stem out a little bit? Should I sit right here? There's a lot of thinking that's going on. And if you go over to the defensive side of the ball, right, what did Dan Quinn do? As soon as he came in, he simplified things for his defense. Right, he found out what they do best. Micah, I don't want you doing all that thinking. You just go. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Kellen Moore has to figure out what to do offensively, but his offensive strategy doesn't allow that.
Yeah, and so check this out.
This is it for me because I thank you guys for working out with Cowboy Experience. One of the things that stood out and my number one issue this whole offseason was Kellen Moore. Now, because he has the number one offense in yards and points. But Michael Irvin spoke out. Emmitt Smith spoke out. Jimmy Johnson spoke out. Aikman spoke out about the lack of adaptability in his system and not really targeting playmakers. And that's why Mike McCarthy, when he was talking about with my call sheet, I got specific breakdowns for my playmakers.
Right.
So what people got to understand is Mike McCarthy, like Jay Tuck said, is really fighting for the offense, and people don't even see it. He fighting to say, let's abandon this. That's what he's saying. And that's why Jay Tuck was like, boss, wake up.
Yeah.
Because we
It was
just
like
talked to
8
Jay
a.m.
Novacek about this and Isaiah.
Last week.
Yeah, Saturday. It's not even a full week. So check this out. Listen.
My suggestion is this. Keep your system, Kellen, but you have to be able to turn a knob that when that's not working, go at your stars. I want to. And that's what Mike McCarthy was talking about with that call sheet. Ain't that what he was saying?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly what he said.
Get you guys' opinion on that, because we heard from the other, Hall of Famers and legends. We want to get you guys on record on this.
I like to refer this to as playing basketball.
Okay.
If you got a guy that's all of a sudden hitting from threes,
go at him.
Give him the ball and let him shoot.
I'm gone. You can have my seat. I heard enough.
If somebody, simple deal. When we were playing Green Bay, they did not want Michael and Alvin to catch the ball deep. They did not want Emmitt Smith to run. So they rolled those corners up, played that cover two, and nobody covered me. So we just threw the ball to me, and it was easy.
He talking about matchup football. Exactly what Emmitt was talking about, what Mike McCarthy was talking about. All of these guys are literally low-key speaking out against Kellen.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Simplify the game.
Yeah. I remember in a playoff game, I caught 11 passes. That was the record for the Dallas Cowboys in a playoff game, most receptions. The next week, Michael Irvin broke it with 13. But for 1 week.
I told you.
Telling you now.
You was the bed.
Yeah, buddy.
Must be nice to get them playoff wins back in the day.
Give you something.
Take it. Right. We have Novacek on record.
Yeah.
Ditto. All right, there it is.
So we got both guys agreeing to attack with your stars. And Kellen Moore does not do that, Tuck.
Not at all.
Now, what I want to talk about with you, bro, that I don't think a lot of people see, is how Mike McCarthy's hands are tied. Because Tuck and I talked about this during the show. And this was a good vibe, and we gonna go into this heavy, dog. Let's just go ahead and get in depth.
His skill get ready to play just there. I mean, that's one conversation. But the
y'all know I do
cross-training,
content myself.
to me, is so beneficial for all your linemen. And his particular talent, and get ready to play just there. I mean, that's one conversation. But the cross training, to me, is so beneficial for all your linemen. And his particular talent, and his skill set. I mean, playing left tackle from an assignment standpoint is easier than playing guard. So the opportunity to learn guard, just in the classroom component, the mental part of it is so beneficial, to playing tackle.
All right, let's talk, bro. Because
Words say one thing, action say another.
Bruh.
Yep.
All right, so let me catch y'all up on what was happening. So Mike McCarthy was talking about cross training. And I just played the clip. I didn't even expect Jay Tuck to go there. I just played the clip. But Jay Tuck, because he's deep into this, he picked up what I didn't, honestly, I didn't expect for you to pick that up, dog. You know what I'm saying? He was like, boss, they doing something different than what their head coach said. And the first thing Tuck said is, doing one thing, saying another, which is going to Mike McCarthy, is showing that his hands are tied, and not just play calling, in personnel too.
a lot of people, because that's been the question I've been asked a lot today. Why is it a change? Why isn't it snatch the sheet away from Kellen and say, I got this, right? And boss, there's another situation that happened. It was last year. Remember with Alden Smith. And it was Mike McCarthy, Jerry Jones, and Stephen Jones. And someone had asked Mike McCarthy about Alden Smith. And Mike came out and said, hey, you know, I would like to have Alden Smith kind of come back. He was great in our locker room, whatever. Stephen Jones said, oh, Alden Smith will not be returning next year. And Mike McCarthy said, oh, well, I guess that's news to me. And so it's just like his hands are tied, y'all. We are not getting that Green Bay Mike McCarthy. He's being micromanaged. So like I said, it's hard for me to judge a man for not doing his job because he's not being able to fully do his job. People forget, when we hired Mike McCarthy, they said you can have a complete new staff. But this guy, Kellen Moore, he's going to remain your offensive coordinator, and he is going to run the offense. And so I gave the scenario, boss. I run a catering business, right? You having a party here in Dallas. You say, you know what, Tuck? I'm going to bring you in to cater my event. Cool, I'm down. But then you say, you know what, Tuck? I want you to do all the food, all the lunch and everything, the hors d'oeuvres. But the dessert, I got this person. They are going to manage the dessert. Don't you touch it. Okay, cool. Now, if the cake and all the cupcakes come out messed up, whose fault is that? Don't put that on me. That's not my responsibility. I'm doing what I was told that I'm supposed to do. And so I feel like when it comes to the offense, a lot of Cowboys fans want to point their targets at Mike McCarthy because he's the head coach, but he's been strategically told it's Kellen Moore's thing. People got to understand, Kellen Moore has his own staff, his own coaches, his own people to help mentor, to help him build this offense that Jerry and Stephen Jones wants. It's out of Mike McCarthy's hands.
Yeah, it's totally out of his hands. Let me play this part where we discussing it. Then we go talk about it just a little bit more. And then we go talk about how we go win even despite this. So y'all listen to me and Tuck go through this last Saturday. Listen.
So how do you be a head coach and you don't have the power to be a head coach? And also shout out to 105.3 The Fan for that clip. We wouldn't have this talk if it wasn't for them.
Right.
But how do you do it?
And I feel like when it comes to Mike McCarthy, his hands are tied behind his back. Because one, as a man, you want to keep a job.
Right.
But he is not the voice in the locker room. The players know that. The fans know that. The media should know that. Like,
I don't even think the fans know that, Tuck.
Well,
I think we know that because
the fans that watch this channel.
Oh, true. The fans that watch your channel and my channel know that.
They know because, like.
But the majority of the fans, I don't think they have no idea that Mike McCarthy hands are tied.
And this is what I'm trying to tell Cowboys fans. If Mike McCarthy was in full control, this Cowboys team would look a lot different.
I think so.
Because even thinking about it, from the video that I did from Kellen Moore about the buffet-style offense, that's not Mike McCarthy's approach. He's a West Coast guy.
That's not. Keep talking.
He's a
That's
West
the
Coast
fifth time
guy.
he was overruled. See, to this point. Man, see, Tuck, we got to do more shows, bro.
Yeah.
See, listen. Because, see, I know what you're talking about. Let me explain what he's talking about. So, Mike McCarthy came out in the offseason where he was talking about a West Coast approach and matchup football.
Right.
They not talking about matchup football.
Right.
When you hear Stephen Jones talk, Jerry talk, and Kellen talk, they still talking no ID offense. Can you explain no ID offense?
No ID offense.
He's a viable option because he's always in the right spot. He's doing the right things. The offense doesn't center around anybody.
And that's what Jay Tuck was talking about. Right there. Listen.
Center around anybody.
No identity offense.
Center around anybody. That goes to the open guy.
Yeah. And this is
boss.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, boss, and I tweeted a tweet the other day from Dez Bryant, way back when he was playing for the Cowboys. He said, "I will never be what OBJ and Julio is because in Dallas, a number one wide receiver doesn't exist." This is Dez talking, y'all. So when people get on CD about not being number one, and then last year it was about Amari, the system doesn't allow them. CeeDee Lamb is never going to get the opportunity we're going to see Chase get on Sunday. I'm sorry, y'all. It just isn't designed that way as of right now under this system.
Yeah, and people think the system is coming from Kellen Moore. It's not. The system is coming from this dude. So, like, B-Bird, a lawyer to the show, he was like, man, if Kellen Moore could just change. And I'm like, bro, when you seeing and you keep seeing the same vision through multiple coaches, it's not the coaches.
Mhm.
This is Stephen
Yeah.
Jones trying to force a system that allows him to be cheap.
And here's the thing about the system, right? Because everyone says, look at the numbers, right? Because they're kind of efficient in like 4 different categories, boss. Tell me this, boss. How much money is Ezekiel Elliott making? $90 million. And his usage has decreased since he's gotten the contract. You know,
Right.
so it's just like, that's how much they don't care about utilizing their superstars. Even the ones they paid for, they still not using.
Right.
And so it's just crazy to me that you have these type of players, you draft this talent, you're a draft and develop team, you get this type of talent in-house, and you don't even utilize them. Tony Pollard, not utilized. Ezekiel Elliott, not utilized. CeeDee Lamb, Mari Cooper, the list goes on and on and on, and this is the reason why. It's because his identity of this offense, but Kellen Moore has to do it because he's getting pressure from up above.
He getting pressure from up above. And it's
Yeah.
true, bro. We're not making this up. Look at what Des Bryant said. And I got a good question. Somebody said, boss, what is it going to take for Mike to call this offense? We're going to talk about that last. Because we got to talk about how to help Mike, how to empower Mike, right? So we're going to talk about that. But this is what Dez said. Let's be clear. If Dallas wanted Amari, because you brought up Dez, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you said
Right,
if
right.
Dallas wanted Amari to have an unbelievable year, he could have it. Too much talent over there to be running a system-based offense. Yeah.
And
that's
this ain't just tucking balls talking. This is a guy who played in it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a
He's
guy who
telling y'all
played in
clear
it.
as day.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
when Tuck was like, boss, wake up. This is what he was talking about. Basically, Tuck was saying, look, boss, this is what we was talking about. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when we doing this show, this is not a show about look how smart we are. I told you so. This is what it's always been. Tuck and I has been trying to expose this so that it can become mainstream known, so that it can put
Right.
pressure on the Joneses to do the right thing. Because as long as
Right.
people don't know who to blame, they go shoot the wrong people.
Right. Exactly. Everybody's been getting shot, and that's what made today so beautiful.
Yeah.
Because now the pressure's already mounted. I seen, Matthew Berry didn't talk about my tweet. I didn't see Marcus Spear. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything now is about Kellen Moore. And then when Mike McCarthy today in the interview came out and kind of doubled down and said, hey, Kellen got to stop being as aggressive. We're going to take a little bit longer walk when we go through the play sheet this week. Now we are here. Now it's a conversation that's being had. And it's going to continue to grow, but it starts from the ground, which is us.
Yeah,
But we kind
it
of took
starts
the
from the ground.
foundation. But we believe it's going to impact our team to help us get to where we're trying to go.
So what we really got to do to answer all y'all questions, when you get direct proof like this show, okay? And this is why I asked Tuck to send the no identity offense, right? Go to his channel. Obviously, like, share, and subscribe always. That's just what you should do with a guy putting in the type of work that he does. All right, obviously do that, but also share his content, because you're not hearing hardly anybody talk about this. This is why Tuck was saying, boss, wake up. It was like, bro, I'm out here fighting. I need your help, big dog. I'm like, man, what's going on? I'm wiping my eyes. I'm like, what's up, Tuck? What's up, my bro? He said, man, check your Twitter. And I checked my Twitter, and I'm like,
a lot of great questions today, but this is my favorite because we get to talk a little ball here. But no,
my Cowboys family, what's up?
I've never been a big option route thrower concept in the past.
That is a direct.
Right.
I never, me personally, never liked what Stephen and Kellen Moore likes.
And that's exactly how I felt yesterday. And I was just like, okay, keep it going, Mike. And y'all stop all that laughing and giggling because he's about to give us a lot to build off of.
Yeah.
And so it's really just kind of give us an end game. We heard Hall of Famers, we heard former players, we heard, other coaches kind of speak on it. But now it's the head coach in Dallas saying, this ain't me, bro. This is not my philosophy. This is not what I do. It's not what I believe in.
I've never been a fan. And see,
I've never been a fan.
And this is what we got to be all careful of. We got to be careful of those hit jobs that they try to see. Listen, y'all. I want y'all to really hear me out. Hear me out. I'm going to put the camera on me on this one. Hear me out. We got to be careful of them hit jobs on Mike McCarthy. Like he don't understand plays. Like he don't understand the offense. And I'm not taking no shot at Brian Broaddus. I'm taking a shot at his source. Because who's the source? Because if it's coming from Steven, if your source is a front office person, they could be setting you up. Meaning they're using the good reputation of Brian Broaddus to do a diabolical end.
Bruh. Because how many years has Mike McCarthy been in the NFL? As an offensive coordinator, as a quarterback guru, coaches, some of the greats. He's been under some of the greats coaches of all time. He understands what's going on. It just ain't his.
His hands are tied.
I know what you're doing.
I know what to do.
Because even if he were able to send that clip, he was talking about the option route. He broke it down fully, but it's not mine.
It's not mine. And see, this is I'm finna show where it's not his. I want y'all to listen, and then we go wrap this up. I love to see my Cowboys family, all y'all in the building. I really love to see that, man. They good people. Check this out.
But this is what it's all about, my Cowboys. Everybody share, because now the foundation is shaking, y'all. Just like my guy Big Game James said, hey, keep applying pressure. Keep applying, because they feeling it. They are feeling it. Every interview, every interaction they getting, they feeling that pressure.
Let's talk about that real quick, because my girl Queen in the house, she say this is depressing. Listen, actually it's not. Let me explain. The timing is good for what's going on right now. What would be depressing would be to know that we getting ready to get slapped, and because we're winning, nobody talking about the inefficiencies of this system. This is actually the best time to talk about it. Why do you think Mike McCarthy chose now to throw Kellen under the bus? He had to wait till his system fully exposed him. He had to.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying it's actually good that we got smacked early, because now everybody panicking. Everybody like, what happened? What's going on? Y'all got... The timing is good. That's why we got to get to work. This is not for us to be like Debbie Downers, like, oh, look at this information, it's making me sad. No, we take this information and you send this to people. You send this to coaches. You send this to Steven. You send this to Will McClay. You put this in Facebook groups. You put this on your Instagram. I'm dead serious. You move with this.
Right. Because case in point off of that, boss, I have voiced my concern about the offense last year. But where did I get? Hey, Tucker, win is a win. We 12-5. We got the number one scoring offense. Everything is fine. You're overreacting because it was looking real shaky to me last year. But no one wanted to understand it. But here we come out, opening game, and Dallas Cowboys with your starting quarterback put up 3 points? 3 points? Explain it to me. And what we're trying to do, y'all, we're not trying to be, I'm here in Dallas right now, getting ready to go out there Sunday to watch Cooper Rush to win this game.
Right.
We want to win, Cowboys Nation.
Right.
But what we do is we voice our concerns and try to be proactive versus reactive.
Thank you.
Now in week 2, I don't want to be sitting up there in week 17 talking about, damn, I wish we would have did something with our offense. No, fix it now. And that's what Mike McCarthy's starting to do. Is like, hey, y'all, if y'all want to kind of continue to go down this tunnel, y'all can roll with this path. But if y'all really want to fix it, I can help you.
My boy Ken said, what's your channel?
Yeah, you can follow me on CFO Sports on YouTube and on social media platforms at JTuck151, man. I appreciate all the support. That video's posted. So go check it out because I broke that video down because I wanted people to understand it so you can go explain it because it's complicated as hell.
It
took
is.
hours and hours of research, but I wanted to break it down to a simplistic way.
Yeah.
And that's what something that Boss does a great job at as well. So you guys can have these conversations at the dinner table and at the bars and everything and say, nah, this is what we're actually running. And then that gets the thing, the momentum where a bunch of Cowboys fans finally understand. Because sitting back before I made that video, Boss, like I said, it was the middle of the night, and I just like, what is the Cowboys offense? I know football, but it ain't looking like, nothing that
no
I've
identity
seen before.
Yeah.
And that's why. And then once I started doing the research, so, go check that video out, share it. But that's what it's all about, man. Breaking down the complex world of NFL football and football in general to a way that anybody can understand and explain. So
that's it. And so
everybody on my channel, come follow Dallas Cowboys Sports too, likewise, because doing the same exact thing is about educating.
It's
Boss
education.
is just like me. I want y'all to get something when y'all watch away from my shows and from my videos, and he's the same way because it only helps the community.
Right. And see, this is the thing. This is one of the main ways you know it's true, because confirmation comes in twos.
Mm-hmm.
It comes in twos. It's confirmed through two. So this is the deal, and hear me out. Hold on, somebody said 150 watching, only 65 likes. Hold on real quick. Appreciate that, Montana. Let's take a pause real quick. We gotta take us a light break.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna take us a quick little light break. And this happens because the content that J Tuck and I we talking about is interesting, and people forget to just hit that simple like. So go in there, just take a pause real quick, hit that like. Also, start sharing it. Let's start doing that.
Yeah.
My stuff and J Tuck stuff. Go to both channels, hit likes on both of them, right? That's how you boost it. That's really how you boost this. And this is what we need to do, because what we're doing is we putting this information out there so we can win. We not trying to put this out there to make your weekend bad. We putting this out there because we saying it's early enough for us to get the word out there to call out.
Fix it now.
Yeah, let's fix it now. And your head coach did the strategically smart thing. He called out Kellen because now he had the room. He couldn't do it in the offseason because guess what? Kellen was the favorite child. And he was. It was clear.
Right.
And the way you know, because you can tell they toyed with Mike McCarthy. When he was going out there saying, I want to use CD Lamb like Jerry Rice. But then once training camp start, all that's thrown away for systems. There's no stars. What does that mean, Tuck?
Right. That he didn't get his vision.
He didn't get his vision. So
he didn't get his vision.
So now that Kellen got egg on his face, this is why Mike McCarthy is pushing back like, I never liked that system in the first place. I'm telling you right now, Mike McCarthy is doing two things. He's doing two things. He's interviewing for the next job by exposing it now, and he trying to expose it now so we can make the adjustment and start winning.
Right, exactly. He's CYA right now, and rightfully so. We We all have jobs. And so we started hearing rumors that, hey, we trying to get rid of Tuck in the office, right? Well, I'm gonna start setting some things in motion. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna sit there and tell my boss, hey, my numbers are declining because y'all took away my best laptop. You know what I'm saying? Y'all took away my office space. So it's like that's what Mike McCarthy is saying, and he's also saying, like you said, boss. He's telling other teams, hey, don't put what y'all see on me. This ain't me. I have a different philosophy. So, it's what we're trying to do is to save this season, y'all, because we don't want to give up. But there's an opportunity for it to really be saved. But it starts now. And today was a big shift in what could possibly happen. So it's either going to happen where Mike McCarthy's going to get some control, or you're going to see some changes.
So check this out. My boy Cooler Real said couldn't be better timing. Listen, this is why we doing this show. Like, listen, bro. I was not capping when I wrote this. I was not capping when I say, no lie, this is the most important show that I've ever done about the Dallas Cowboys. Listen, y'all. Me and Jay Tuck was warned about this. So everybody that got that bad taste in their mouth, we saw it coming. We was like, bro, like this, Jay Tuck warned loud. No identity was up to 4 in the morning. I did 15 videos on this, 15. And I said this one was the most important one. So this is my question. It was 1,700 people that watched this video. What if all 1,700 would have shared, Jay Tuck?
Right. Facts. And the crazy part, bro, I remember when I was up there 4 in the morning cutting that video up, I said, Tuck, bro, ain't nobody gonna watch this. You know what I'm saying? But that was it. That was one of those, you know, you kind of hear artists and musicians say, that wasn't a song for y'all. That was a song for me.
Right.
I was in my lab and I was really diving in because I wanted to know this. And if it got 5 views or 5 million, it needed to be out there. And I was very, excited about the response that it did get. But there's so many Cowboys fans, y'all, that really needs to understand. I had Cowboys fans asking me today, like, what offense are we running? They don't know because no one's ever asked that question.
Right.
No one's ever sat in a media podium and say, you know what, Kellen, tell us about your philosophy. Where does that stem from? We've never got that question. So for me, from the Cowboys lens, I never knew. Is it a West Coast? What is it? And so that was really for me. But I'm glad Cowboys Nation got a hold of it, but now it's really time to boost it. So now people are aware of what's really going on with our organization. So you're not just blaming CD. You're not just blaming Amar. You're not just blaming Dak. You have to understand what's really going on and why aren't things really going like you see other teams in the NFL.
Right. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this.
Because one quick case in point.
Yeah.
Because Justin Jefferson came out and said about the last game, they schemed well. They had matches for Jefferson versus a linebacker. So you can scheme your wide receivers to get open. Simplify it. Y'all play Madden. There's a button you hit on Madden that says the Zeke button. If you just want to get Zeke some plays, there's a whole play sheet for Zeke. Right? So you can scheme to get your playmakers involved. Kellen Moore needs to utilize that more.
And that's exactly, see, we gonna say that about 3 more times because that right there, it sounds simple, but what he said is literally the key to opening up the offense to jet. It will become a jet all over again.
Right.
It will become a jet. Yeah. See, I'm gonna say what Tuck just said. And this is what I said. I said this to Jay Novacek and Isaiah. I said, keep your system, Kellen. Just have a knob to where you can turn your play sheet to start targeting your stars when it's not working. So what was happening Sunday? Your system was not working. What was the knob that he could have easily turned? The Zeke knob.
Yeah.
Did he turn it? No. So the offense stayed what?
Stagnant. I was to say stagnant.
And this is why. So I'm gonna play this. Then I'm gonna get to the solutions. Somebody say, Commanders. I see where you're coming from. Hold on, you a Commanders fan? Man, if you don't get your what's up, man? Welcome to Boss Cowboy Sports. Welcome Welcome to Cowboy Fans Only, man.
You watching?
Yeah, you watching. All right, cool. But y'all listen to this.
Sometimes I wonder, like, damn, are we revealing too much?
Because we go get after this, we go get heavy into solutions. Heavy. Here we go. We saw it. That's why I said you had to stay to the end. Because we built the whole case. We showed very clear who and what the system is. Yep. Allowing the defense to dictate where the ball goes. That's a front office system according to Keystone, which I agree with. And Kellen Moore is the Trojan horse that has been running that system. So what they did is they say, okay, show me your worth, Mike McCarthy. See, this is the part I want to get into, how they was questioning Mike McCarthy. And this is also why that video that Tuck was like, wake up, boss, wake up. It's so important because in the off season, just peep it. The media, they're taking shots at Mike, but is coming from sources within front office. Listen, y'all understand what I'm saying? So when somebody from front office go talk to Brian Brown and say he don't know the plays. When somebody from front office go to Bobby Belt and say we don't know what he do. Why are they doing that? Just think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Setting them bullets in motion.
They setting them bullets in motion.
Yeah. And think about it from this standpoint, y'all. You, Mike McCarthy, you know what's going on. You know what's being spread in that building. All right, y'all want me gone? All right, let y'all golden boy handle the offense. That's why Mike McCarthy ain't taking that play call. No,
facts.
Y'all told me he's the golden goose. He got it. No, y'all want me gone. Remember, I'm just the guy.
And this is the sad part, Tuck, because we talking real business right now. He got to play it like that. He literally has to play it like that because of the environment that they set up. Listen to this.
Right, exactly.
Listen. Show us what you believe because we got to try to grade you. Listen. So what do you think we should do? If you think I'm lying, listen again.
On the line, let's see what it is you can do. We need you more involved so that we can judge you based off of some of these things. So I think it's absolutely possible.
So we need you more involved, is what they said to Mike McCarthy. Do I need to rewind that again? I rewind it again. Listen, that's crazy.
We need you more involved so that we can judge you based off of some of these things. So I think it's absolutely possible he's got more involved, and I still think this is ultimately Kellen Moore's offense, but I think that Mike McCarthy...
Yeah. That's what we talking about today, y'all. Who is the person that's preaching the philosophy of matchups? So we get into solutions now. This is what we get into. That's why I'm asking this question. Who is the person that's preaching the philosophy of matchups that we've been hearing from the other disciples? Who is that person? I'm asking a real question. Who is the person that's preaching the gospel the correct way so we can know who to follow? Who is the Judas and who is the other guy? I don't know what to say on that, but y'all know what I mean. Thank you, Coach Marv, for sending me this. See, because Coach Marv believe his voice matter. So Coach Marv be like, boss, hey man, you gotta go check out this article. I'm like, what is it? He like, man, Mike McCarthy talking about matchups. I ain't never heard it. I said, let me see. I said, send it to me. Man, Coach Marv sent me this. I read it. I said, boy, this B part is yoga fire. And that's showing you Mike McCarthy is trying to get the power to make us better. And that's what happened. That's why he spoke out yesterday, and that's what Jay Tux, because he been trying to get this power, bro. He been trying to get this power. He been laying it out there. This is where I'm different. But is he crippled by the dysfunction of front office installing a Trojan horse in his way? And see, that was a question then. We know the answer now. See, then it was a real question. I asked and I meant it. Is he a Trojan horse? No. Now we know Kellen Moore is the Trojan horse.
Right.
Is he crippled? Are we witnessing sabotage? Not intentional, but sabotage to where you got those oligarchs that's more trying to get their way versus letting Mike McCarthy run a team based on the philosophy that actually fits what he wants to do matchup wise. Am I making sense, or is this fluff? Huh? That's what it is. So we got us a super chat. He said 2019 Gary got fired for allowing Kellen Moore's system. Mike McCarthy not going out like that. He at least trying. And see, this is where we on solutions now. Right there. He at least trying. That's where I want to stop.
He's
so
trying.
What can we do? Chuck, what can we do?
Continue to lift our voice, y'all.
Yep.
That's the main thing.
That's the main
Likes,
thing.
The shares, the tweets, the Facebook groups, because I'm telling y'all, it makes an impact. You may not believe your voice don't matter, But it does. It has a ripple effect. Like I said, just me this morning, sitting in the airport, sent out a few tweets, turned into a huge wildfire. So where they're talking about on ESPN, I saw Ryan Clark talking about Kellen Moore right now on ESPN. But the past few months, past last year, he was never mentioned. So now people are going to sit back and watch. Who's really been the problem? Because it was always easy. Push Dak out in front. You know, it's Dak's fault, right? Push Mike McCarthy. He's a lame duck coach. You know, that's the easy one. He only won a Super Bowl because of Aaron Rodgers. But now the aims are being set at Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator. And what Mike McCarthy is simply saying, hey, if y'all want me out, y'all can get me out, but at least let me go out my way. Mm-hmm. And if I'm Mike McCarthy, that's what I'm saying. Hey, if y'all want me gone, perfectly fine. Because here's the thing. I agree with Boss saying the sabotage. Because before, they moved on from Jason Garrett. They couldn't go to Kellen Moore then. But then they brought in Mike McCarthy, but then also now they have in Dan Quinn. So I know Jerry's sitting thinking about, this is the opportunity where maybe Dan Quinn doesn't need to be our head coach. He can be our defensive coordinator, and I can finally get my guy who I've been wanting and plug him back in. I just got to get this guy out the way, you know. Yeah. But Mike McCarthy is saying, I'm not going out like that, y'all, because I got a reputation, and them 3 points that y'all saw last Sunday does not go on my tab. It goes on this guy. So I love that Mike is finally fighting back. It's going to be an interesting conversation throughout the season we got to focus on. But how we continue to do it is continue to spread your voice and get louder and louder. Because like I said, the front office is starting to feel the heat.
They are starting to feel the heat. I do got a couple of super chats. Do you have some super chats real quick that you want to?
Yeah.
Go take yours and then I'll take mine.
I got one from B. Bird. He just says Kellen Moore is the third most powerful in the Cowboys organization.
True.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah. He's part of the family.
He is.
Because here's where people don't understand. We all know I love college football, right? In order for Kellen Moore to go to Boise, where he was an alumni, he's a legend, damn near has a statue in Boise, for them to pull him back, there had to be an under-table conversation. It wasn't just like, I just changed my mind and I want to come back. No. Jerry has promised that man something to kind of make him stick and come back from Boise. And so there's some under-table conversation. I feel like Mike McCarthy feels it. But yeah, I agree with you. You know?
Yeah, and I'm going to get to all y'all super chats right now. Boy, there's some good ones in here. Ooh, wait, let me take these. So Keystone said, let me put this on. You got any more?
No, that was one. That's one.
Okay. My boy Keystone said, Mike was the scapegoat for experience to Kellen Moore to be Garrett 2.0. I 100,000% believe that's the case. And see, this is what I want to do. I want to make sure y'all understand when I say sabotage, I'm not talking about like blatant sabotage. I'm talking about sabotage to where you have a predetermined end and you're trying to force it. I'm not trying to act like they just trying to lose on purpose, but they do have a predetermined end that they're being messy about. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, so in that form, yes, sabotage.
Which they have a history of doing.
And they do have a history of doing that. So let's just keep it real. Right. My boy Blackwell said, boss, Kellen just needs to go in all Kellen, and I'm sick of Kellen Jones. Yeah, bro, listen. Kellen, I'm going to go off on Kellen in just a minute because I'm sick of Kellen, and I'm going to just be honest on what I really feel about Kellen. The receivers aren't as talented as any secondary they will face by design. No, I think our secondary, our receivers are nice, but they go suck in this system. They go suck when you figure it out. Everybody, to be honest, everybody go suck when you figure it out. So, and I'm just being honest, man. It's at this point they got to change that system.
Because I asked Cowboys Nation, tell me a game, boss, you think in the last, let's say 2 years, where things was really hitting the fan and we just leaned on our playmakers to get us out there with the victory.
Nope.
It's been a while.
No. It ain't.
It's been a while.
To be honest, it ain't really been since Romo. Or I tell you when. It was when Cooper made Dak. You remember that? The Philly game where they was sitting on them routes, and he went over to Dak and he was like, "Bro, they sit on our routes. We need to fade them up." And then Dak said, "Man, just do what the coaches say."
Yeah.
That was the last time, bro, that we really intentionally went at a playmaker. Like, we going at you, dog, because you are the number one.
Yeah.
Nah, it's been
Get us
system.
up out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get up out of here. We ain't did that
Yeah.
since then, bro. My boy, landlord say, "What's happening, boss?" And Tuck, it's sad, but our front office is where Theon Greyjaws get turned into reek. Ooh, if not, heads will roll. Game of Thrones. I agree. And see, I want to talk about a couple of things solution wise. All right. First of all, like Tucker Wright, share the content, do all of that. But I also I just want to say this in general. Never ever think your voice don't matter. Never ever think that, bro. Just in general, I got another super chat. He said, "Boss, we beat the table and said anybody but Jason Garrett and thought we got Mike McCarthy, but we really got Kellen Moore." Ooh. So, but this is the other thing I want to say. Never think you don't matter. Because Tuck explained those ticket sales, how they don't affect us now or affect Jerry now. But it could, if it stay like this, affect them next year. Right. Why do you think Jerry said, "I will take calls from fans"?
Yeah.
What? Why he do that, Tuck? Why he do that?
He feeling that heat.
He feeling that heat. He feeling that heat. So it's a lot of us that would say, boss, we don't matter. Tuck, we don't matter. No, we matter, bro. And that's why Tuck and I have joined forces on this campaign. It's like we saying the same thing. We stronger together.
Right.
We stronger together. Because you saying what I'm saying, you clarified it for me. I was saying system and this and that. We was talking about the exact same thing, but Tuck was like, "Boss, it's a no ID system." And I was like, but since we saying the same thing, let's put it out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So,
facts.
So I want us to do honestly what we did not do the first time. I had 1,700 people watch this video. I only had like 30 shares. Nah, y'all know. See, then it was speculation. Then it was theory. Now it's in your face. Because when I was saying, and when Tuck was calling it the no ID offense, and I was saying it was a versus, people, boss, Tuck, conspiracy, stirring up. Yeah. There's nothing going on. They're together. Okay, they together? Are they? Really? They on the same page? You sure about that?
Right.
Huh?
Right.
You sure about that?
Talk a little ball here. But no, I've never been a big option route thrower.
Right.
Oh, they on the same page? Oh, they on the same page. Okay. It's not a versus of philosophy. Oh, it's just theory. J-Tuck, y'all just stirring up stuff. Right. Oh. Clickbait. You guys are just making it up. If that's what you got to do to get subs, I don't want to be a YouTuber. Well, how about try being genuine? How about try really caring about your team to tell the truth and not be compromised?
Right.
Your concept in the past.
And you right, Tuck. That's annoying as hell, dog.
Bro, they try to get him out. All right, bro, if y'all let him out of this question, I'm gonna be forever mad. And thank goodness he continued to go through. But they was just laughing and giggling about some other stuff. All right, he's about to give y'all the golden key of what's really going on. Y'all are playing around.
They was playing around, and he was literally talking about the most serious topic of the whole offseason.
Right. The whole offseason right there. Laughing. Someone's phone going off. And I was like, all right. But then that's where we come in and do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's about us as a community, as far as the media is concerned. They can't come in. They can't do this show, boss. They can't.
You don't think they can do this show?
So.
You don't think
they can't do this show?
Because I think we got only a few left, dog. I think it's only a few left in the media, bro. I think Kevin Gray is one. I called him president because he the only one that seemed like he moved independent.
Yeah. Right.
Like with passion. I'll be like, dude.
Right.
I'll be like, slow down, dog.
Yeah.
But
and see, but that's what people have to understand, the power of the YouTube community. Can't nobody come downstairs and tell Tuck what to do.
No.
Nobody can come down and cut us off right now. So we are uncompromised. We can give you guys the unfiltered truth. Now, I'm not saying we better than them, because it takes all of us. Like I said, what those interviews did, that was the inside cue, and I took it and just like, okay, that's all I needed. All I needed was Michael Gelton to go inside, case the joint, see what's going around. He gave me the signal, that was clear, and Tuck and Boss come through, kicking the door, taking the shots.
That's it. That's all it needs to be. So it takes all of us, and so all of us play a role, and y'all in the community, y'all play a role as well. So so let's come together. So what's your final words, big dog?
Yeah, like I say, it was cool to kind of finally tie a ribbon on all this. We know the separation between Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore. Here's the fix, here's my ass. They have to be in sync. Moving forward, they have to be in sync. And like you've been saying, boss, you can still keep the no ID office because it's efficient, but you have to be able to break out of it. And a lot of people have been talking about, I miss when Dak had Kitna around, because that's what Kitna gave Dak. He gave him structure, but also could tell him, hey, bro, if you get this look, scrap that, take this, right? That's the coach that Dak Prescott needs. He doesn't need everything to be within the system. So if you go back to even watching the 49ers game, which I continue to punish myself and do, right? You do the no identity offense, you shift the numbers, you have everything off balance, you have one-on-one with Amari Cooper. That's your number one look now. Forget over here going to Central. This is your number one look now. We created the mismatch. We got everything we want. We got one-on-one. We have your safety coming down. We're going to take this mismatch, right? It needs that flexibility. It needs that creativity. Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore need to do the Dragon Ball Z fusion dance and get this offense back in sync. Now, can they do it? Absolutely. Will they do it?
We don't
remains
know.
to be unseen. But now we kind of know what to keep our eye on.
Facts. And so well said, J Tuck. Let me take some of these super chats. My boy say, I sent you 3 super chats. My dog, I only see 1. All right. Okay. First, this one is from Coach Marv. He said, and I'm gonna get to these super chats, dog. I ain't gonna leave you hanging. He said, Boss Mike McCarthy is not a son. Kellen is. I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah.
And then this super chat said, Kellen Moore is ruining careers. CD should ask for a trade. This system won't make him special.
Now CD had a little spice in his interview. I saw a little 88 in CD's interview today.
You saw some 88?
Ooh. I saw some little 88 in CD's interview today. He said, hey, everyone got an opinion, they entitled to their opinion, but it's only week 1, So it's just, But yeah, they already trying to push CD under the bus. Well, if he's double teamed or triple coverage, he's still got to come up the way to get the ball. I don't know how the hell you're supposed to do that, but hey,
right?
Yeah, the Cowboys front office, they'll point fingers at everybody but themselves.
Yeah, that's exactly what they doing, bro. They are pushing. Yeah, CD Lamb is next, bro. Yeah, he next. Yeah. And then what's sad?
Negotiation time.
It's around negotiation time. So, and this is why we call Kellen Moore Trojan horse. So you got to know the story. You know what I'm saying, of how the Trojan, he was presented like a gift. Here, Mike McCarthy. Here. Right. Mike McCarthy, I'm for you. I'm here to serve, sir. I'm here to serve. But deep down, he was a trap the whole time. Right. He was a trap to be controlled by them Joneses. So when they want to get rid of Cooper, they needed to install a guy that was going to run that diabolical plan, because Mike McCarthy wasn't for that. Mike McCarthy was talking about we should have targeted more, and he was saying it openly. You remember that, Tuck?
Do you ever think of a time back at Green Bay where people were understanding why wasn't Jimmy Graham getting involved in their offense? You never had these questions under Mike McCarthy in Green Bay.
Never. Never. Yeah. So also, I'm definitely with what Tuck said. Yeah, keep your system, Kellen. Keep it. I'm going to say it again. Just put a dial on it to where It's not working. What's going to turn it on? Okay, my play sheet that's specific for my ballers. That's what's going to turn it on, Kellen. And then you can go back to your system. I've been saying the whole offseason, just create a matchup change up. We're not talking about throw away your whole playbook. Keep it. Keep it. But sometimes don't have Tolbert out there trying to read the D. Sometimes just say, Tolbert, beat this dude on the post route. Give him your best route. Yeah. That's it. And if he make that change, this offense is go yoga fire. Let's go open
because
up.
when you look around the league, a lot of teams, when things hit the fan, they know how to get the ball to their playmaker. Go to the Super Bowl last year. If that was us, Cooper Kupp would have never got that out. You know what I'm saying?
Never.
In Dallas. Never. You know, and that was my thing. If you were going to lose to the 49ers at home, cool. I'm going out shooting with Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb. If they get locked up and they had 17 targets and they only had 5 catches, wherever they both got shut down. But if I'm going out with my playmakers. And so Kellen Moore, he needs that sheet to say, you know what? I got 18 plays how to unload the clip with Tony Pollard.
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
You know, so.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah. And that's what Novacek said. That's what the playmaker said. That's what Irvin said. That's what Aikman said. That's what Dez said. That's what Romo said. That's what Tuck said. That's what Isaiah said. So I just want to conclude this is what Paul said. He said this isn't Kellen systems. It's the Jones system.
The Jones system. Yep. Yeah.
Y'all stay up, man. Share this content. If there's anyone to share, this is the one. Share this one, man. Go share crazy on this one. If they can hear this, we can rescue 2022. Let's get it. Thank you, Tuck.
Hey, appreciate you, my guy. If you keep up the great work, Cowboys Nation, the season ain't over.
It ain't over, man. It ain't over. Yeah. And this is the work that we got to do to not let it be over. So let's keep working, Cowboy Nation. Let's keep working. Let's keep putting the word out there. It's up to us. Our voice matters.